Welcome to Spiritual and Ambitious. I'm your host, Whitney McNeill. I'm a certified medium and spiritual teacher, and I help spiritual and ambitious souls just like you live your life purpose through your career and attract abundance by connecting into your intuition and spirit guides. Let's get spiritual and ambitious. Some people think that spirit guides and business have nothing to do with one another. This episode is going to be showing you how you can use your intuition to make more money. Now, maybe that hit you a little wrong. Like, wait a minute, how can I use my intuition to make more money? Is that cheating? Like, does that even go together? I'm here to tell you that yes, you can use your intuition in business to increase your abundance. And that is really why your spirit guides are here, to help you live your life purpose abundantly. Now, you know me, I'm an advocate for living your life purpose through your business so that you can be living your purpose all the time. I feel like we can live our purpose in our personal life and in our business. We spend too much time working. And if we are working, let's make sure we love it. Also, I really am an advocate of freedom. So having your own business can give you more freedom as well. Now, I went off on a tangent there, but I wanted to tell you just some of the backstory of why I'm even talking about this. And the way I started my business was really my spirit guides. They were my right hand people. So today we're going to talk about what can keep you stuck. And we're going to be talking about how your intuition helps you to increase your abundance. So stay tuned. So when I first started my business, I was scared. Seriously. I really only thought that I would be working for someone else. And I did that several times, and that didn't really get me anywhere. I didn't love it, didn't like the hours, didn't like the cap of the pay. And to be honest, I really didn't love working at a business that had a different vision that I wanted. I truly only wanted to do spiritual things. I wanted to make a business out of things I love. I had to sit there and go, what is it that I love? I love dogs. I love essential oils. I love energy healing. I love spiritual type things with intuition and spirit guides. I'm like, how do I make that a business? Like, how would that work? And I had people around me that I saw who were business owners, some successful, some not so successful. But the support that I had around me with friends and some family members were scared. They're like, Whitney, if you start your own spiritual business, like, I'm afraid for you. I'm afraid that you are not going to have enough money to pay the bills. I'm afraid that people are going to think that you're a charlatan. I'm afraid that you're going to have all this negative attention. And I'm afraid that you're not going to make it. So now that sounds super unsupportive. And I know that those people were coming from a really loving place of worry. However, by the way, side note, when we worry about people, we send out a negative vibration to them. When we are supporting them, we're sending out positive vibration, like, you can do this, you've got this. So just kind of a heads up, if you have ever worried, which I'm sure you have for someone, let's shift that thought. So we're sending out positive vibrations. So I know that you may have experienced some of this yourself, and maybe you are having those own worries for yourself. So of course, if you have these own worries, it's going to be important that you truly start shifting that mindset. And so when we talk about abundant mindset or abundance mindset, we're talking about really looking at the glass half full. It doesn't mean that we ignore those thoughts that come up. We can acknowledge those thoughts, but we can start asking ourselves better questions. How is it possible for me to succeed? How is it possible for me to start a business that is going to be amazingly fulfilling and strike joy into my heart and live my purpose? How is it possible? So when we start being really curious about it, we start to shift from that negativity to, you know, the former version of me doesn't think it's possible, but this new version of me is really starting to investigate. How is it possible? Hey, spirit guides, I'd love for you to show me how it is possible. So that's one of the first hurdles that we have when it comes to starting a business. A lot of people that work with me, when they come into Intuition Abundance Academy, they're like, I don't want to start my own business, Whitney. I just want to learn how to connect to my spirit guides, my intuition. I want to learn how to have more abundance in my life and to live my life purpose, which is wonderful. That's really what we talk about in the program. But I start to talk about, hey, here's some resources, here's some bonuses if you decide you want to start your own business. Because what happens is when we truly find out our life purpose and we step into that life purpose, oftentimes people have this aha of, oh, I want to start my own business, whether it's part-time, whether it's full-time, whether it is perhaps a nonprofit. They have this little, oh, now that I've learned this, I think I might want to do that. So it's a surprise to them. This is also why we're having this episode. Now, I know if you're listening to me that you are either one, thinking, or there's a seed planted somewhere within your energy, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, about a possibility of starting your business. Or perhaps if you are already, and you're listening to me, a business owner, then you are in the right place. Now, if you're listening to me and you're like, nope, never going to happen, then I'm going to ask you to stay curious, because the things that I'm going to be telling you here are still going to be helpful for you wherever you are to increase your abundance. But I want to talk about using your intuition in business. So intuition is tapping into that part of ourselves to really receive, right? We're receiving messages from our spirit guides. And it's tapping into that part of ourselves where we're creating a clear channel. There's no stress involved. We're completely aligned and we see the entire perspective. So if you've ever had that aha moment, that would be your intuition. If you've had that thought pop into your mind of, oh, I know what I want to do, or I feel really inspired to do this, or perhaps you see a visual or you hear, hey, go do this now, that would be your intuition at play. When we think about our intuition in business, sometimes when I say the word business, we get stressed or we think we have to be going. You can't be lazy. You have to do. So how will intuition fall into business? Because intuition has to be a place of relaxation and your business has to be going. So one, I want to say with your business, it does not have to be going. When you're manifesting, it's a balance of doing and a balance of not doing. It is balance. So it's going to be really important to do that. The really great thing is when you do start your own business, you get the freedom to work when you want to, not work when you don't want to. However, I understand that there's a steady stream of income that you're desiring to come into the business, but you get to play with how you want that to be set up. So with making more money, sometimes people say, well, wait a minute. How does money go with intuition? And why would my spirit guides care about such a tangible thing? Well, while intuition is intangible, it definitely produces tangible results, like growing your business and helping you receive more money. It's a skill set we need to cultivate. Money is energy. Money is the ability to just trade energy with one another. And it's actually pretty spiritual. When your energy is in a place to receive your intuition, it also sets up this receiving channel for abundance in your life. So are you able to receive? I'm going to tell you that starting your own business is one of the most spiritual things you can do because trust me, you are going to have lessons and you are really going to be learning more about yourself. You're going to be catapulting your spiritual growth. You're going to be saying, oh my gosh, I thought I'd gotten over this. And now the lesson is back in a different way. And it helps you become a better person. It helps you become a person who gets to work on themselves, to grow, and to ultimately raise your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, you are in a place where you can receive your intuition in a better way. You're more sensitive. So with your skills, we need to cultivate that. You need to cultivate your receiving. You get to cultivate your abundance. You get to cultivate your joy. And your spirit guides are here to help you on your mission. It's like you've incarnated in this world, you have a mission, and it's like, okay, go on. And what happens is when we incarnate, we're like, what was my mission? I don't know what it was. And it's like you have to find the path. And you find the path back, like the path you were on, you kind of get off. But when you're tapping into your intuition, your spirit guides are nudging you back on your path. So for an example, if you were growing up and you wanted to be a doctor, and for some reason that didn't work out, like for me, that's one of the things that happened to me. I wanted to be a healer. I wanted to be a doctor. And I went to college and I started looking at organic chemistry and I was like, I don't think this is going to work. I also started to realize that that type of healing wasn't what I really wanted. I wanted this energy healing. And I didn't even know that energy healing truly existed on the earth plane that people would know about. And so I just said, you know what? I just need to pick a different major so I can graduate. And then I ended up finding my way back to healing and learned Reiki and learned how to teach Reiki. And I would do Reiki for others. So if you get off your path, you can get back on it. Intuition helps nudge you. So if you're out there wondering, well, what would my business be like? Or if you're already in business and you're wondering, well, I need to make a pivot, I'm not happy anymore, then your intuition is going to help you. All those things have happened to me. So for me, I was working in a job I hated. And I said, I just feel this nudge to start my own business. So I started a part-time business. And when it was time to actually leave, I just listened to my intuition. I left and it was as if, and I'm serious, this sounds like I'm making this up, but it's not anything I'm making up. It's true. I already had the presence of my business out there for part-time, but immediately my business grew to full-time, like overnight. All of a sudden I got requests and I was really talking to my spirit guides about this. So I was saying, please help me know when it's time to quit my full-time job. I really want to do this full-time in my business. Please help me to know when it's time and what I need to do to grow the business. I had gotten my website out there and it had been out there for a while, but I had all these limiting beliefs. Nobody's going to come for appointments in the daytime because nobody's going to come get a reading or get a Reiki session in the daytime. Nobody will take work off. And it was like all these limiting beliefs. And my spirit guides were like, let me show you how this is possible. So I quit my job, literally something I would not have done. I didn't even give notice, which I don't ever recommend. It worked out just fine, by the way. And then it was like over the next morning, I started getting way more requests. And why did this happen? Well, I listened to my intuition, but what happened was when I quit that job that I didn't like, I opened up to receive more. Spirit started giving me more opportunities. And it was as if my energy had been holding onto this baggage for so long that when I finally let the baggage go, I had like a void, right? And the universe loves a void. So if you have a void, then all of a sudden, all of the stuff that you want to receive comes flowing in. And all the people were like, hey, do you have any daytime appointments? I can come on my lunch break or, it was just like amazing. So working with your spirit guides and really listening to your intuition, that really helped my abundance. Now, abundance can be financial, it can be spiritual, and it was both for me. So it was this beautiful place. So it's a skill set we need to cultivate, our intuition with business. Some of the most wealthy business owners will listen to their gut, which is their intuition. Now, intuition can help us in making decisions in business. It can help us when we're trying to pivot our business. It can help us with offers that we want to make, our business name, the colors, and so forth and so on. And when you listen to those intuitive hunches, you can make more money and lead to that abundant life that you're wanting to. However, a lot of entrepreneurs get stuck in their head and block their intuitive messages because they're strictly following what they were taught, or maybe some strategies or step-by-step tutorials or the traditional marketing and that kind of stuff. So when we come back from the break, I'm going to be talking about how you can use your intuition to pivot and how you can tap into your intuition too. See you soon. All right. So if you have been an entrepreneur that has been taught how to market, or perhaps you've just gotten stuck in your ways, I mean, this is something that can happen where it's like, I've just gotten stuck. Well, it's time to use your intuition. But I do want to say, if you're only using your intuition in your business and you've not learned any tried and true ways of marketing, I think that you need to learn them. It's a balance of, I'm always going to be open to learn new techniques. I'm going to be learning new things from new opportunities. Because when we say I'm open to learning, I'm open to growing. Our spirit guides are like, yes, we can stay on the path and we're not going to get stuck. When we say, no, I only use my intuition 100% of the time, which I do, by the way, want you to use your intuition 100% of the time, but I want you to have knowledge so that you can combine it. I know that sounds like I just talked out of both sides of my mouth. What I want to say is it's a balance. It's like you have a good baseline of, okay, this is what you need to know about the basics of marketing. This is what you need to know about XYZ. And now combine your intuition and take what it is that feels good to you, or take what it is that you feel you're guided to. Now, your spirit guides can guide you to those right people to teach you that, a course to teach you that. They can guide you into that place. But if we're just saying, nope, I'm not going to learn anything, I'm just going to just zone it out, then that oftentimes shows us that we're not grounded. It will show us that we're living a little bit too much in the spiritual world. And when we are here on the earth plane, it's really important that we balance the earth plane gifts that are here, that we're open to receiving other people's messages, that we're open to receiving knowledge that has been really helpful. And then we combine it with our intuition to help us form our own path. So it's like this, hey, if you're only following the step-by-step tried and true methods of marketing or running a business and you're not open to your intuition, that's not balance. Hey, if you're only listening to your intuition and you're not even interested in learning about anything that has been helpful to run businesses, that's also not balance. So while intuition is great, oftentimes we only get bits and pieces, and we might feel, oh my gosh, I'm going to write a newsletter, but we don't know what system to use or how the system works. So you need that logical piece of how does this work and combine your intuition. So for me, it's both, really looking at utilizing both aspects. So with pivoting, let's say that you have a business and you have been doing the same thing for years and you're just not fulfilled. That happened to me. So I was overjoyed when I started my business. I loved doing appointments. And then I started to do teaching. And I really, really loved teaching. That was my favorite. And I just was like, you know what? I would love to do more of that. But I did not know how to pivot. So I stayed in what I knew for years and years and years. And eventually I started getting health issues. So with burnout, you can get health issues, but I'm also have a strong intuitive language of the channeler, which is knowings in the body and literally your body experiencing the intuition that you need to. And I started having my throat close up. And I don't, by the way, believe that my spirit guides were doing this to me or anything by any means. It's more so when you're stuck and stagnant, your chakras start to block and then it moves into your body. So I was trying to talk. My voice was not coming out. And this happened for a couple months. It led me to, I can't do any more appointments. Like I can't do it. It's not a possibility. And I finally had the aha moment, because I'm stubborn sometimes, of Whitney, it's time for you to pivot and move fully into your teaching and stop doing appointments. So that I did, and it was the best decision that I have made for me. There's nothing wrong, by the way, of doing one-on-one appointments. It's just where I needed to go in my path. It was time for change. I also realized that I wasn't living fully in my life purpose archetype. And my life purpose archetype is teacher. That's my main one. I was actually living in my second life purpose archetype, which is the healer. And with that, that was helpful for a while, but it wasn't fully sustainable for me energetically because it wasn't my full, what I say, energetic imprint. So if you want to learn more about that, I'll link to it in the show notes. So understanding how when we make decisions, our intuition is really important. It helps us to pivot. It helps us to make new offers or revise our offers. So a lot of times we talk about pricing. How much do I charge? Well, there's a lot of different ways that you can go about pricing. You can figure out how much money you would like to bring into your household and how many appointments you want in a week or a month. And with that, you can do the math to find out how much you have to charge for each appointment. However, you may also feel, I want to look around to see what everyone else is charging and how does that feel for me? So we never really want to base our price off of somebody else's price, but it's nice sometimes to just see what someone else is charging and see how you energetically feel, like, oh, that's too low, or oh, that's kind of high for me. Energetic match is important. So really finding that this is what feels good to me to charge. But you can do this for years and then all of a sudden you'll feel, oh, I feel really resentful. I feel out of alignment. And so your intuition is telling you it's time for you to increase your price. A lot of times we think, well, it has to be a logical reason. It does not have to be. It's your energy has changed and shifted. And so it is time to raise your price or to do away with an offer that you don't like. It doesn't work for you anymore. And I'm going to change it. So it's really tapping into your intuition so you have more abundance. Because if you continue doing a service or really staying in a certain price range for years where you're out of alignment with it, then all that's going to do is create more things that are out of alignment. And it's important to stay on the path. So listening to that intuition when it's time to change. So your intuition helps you so much with business name, colors, offerings, when to send a message, what to say to someone, and helps you with communicating with your clients. All right, so let's talk about really how to utilize your intuition really in a simple way. So one is, I know that you're busy, but clear your mind. And if you are having trouble clearing your mind, you can say to yourself, oh my gosh, by clearing my mind and relaxing for 5 minutes, just say 5 minutes, I'm actually giving myself a gift of being more productive. A lot of times we think I have to go, I have to do. And it's, no, wait a minute. If I pause for 5 minutes, I'm actually allowing myself to be more productive. I'm giving my business a gift. I'm giving myself a gift. And during that 5 minutes, I'm going to allow myself to clear my mind. And then you can ask your spirit guides for any messages. Hey, I'm thinking about XYZ. What inspiration do you have for me? And if you feel like there's no way that you can get your messages, I know that you can, but if you're just in that place where you're feeling like you're spinning like a top, you can just talk to your spirit guides and say, please give me some inspiration about changing this offer, or please help me to understand what the best price is, or please help me to understand what I need to be doing for my highest and the best in the business. Then spirit will start giving you these answers in a way that you'll receive them. So if you are able to clear your mind, you can then just receive through your intuitive language. So you might get a symbol, you might hear what you need to do, you might feel yes or no. But normally what happens is you'll get inspired. You'll get really inspired and go, ooh, and you don't even know that it's your intuition. You're just inspired to call this company to help you with it, or to go ahead and just do it. And it's that inspiration. But if you feel really blocked, your spirit guides will put you around people that start talking about similar things you're wondering about, or give you this hunch, or just end up being around people that have had similar experiences. So if you're thinking about starting your own business, you'll probably meet a bunch of business owners or people that also want to start their own business. If you want to really look at, hey, I'm not sure about XYZ, Whitney, I'm never around any people. Well, then spirit will start giving you messages on, let's say, podcast ads or TV shows, and it's like a TV show might start talking about this. So knowing that your spirit guides are there. Also, they can help you with investing. When do I invest? And they'll give you these hunches like, here's this program coming up. I really feel like this would be a good thing, but maybe you're like, I don't even know how to afford it. Let's just trust spirit and know that spirit's putting it there for a reason. And this brings me to the next item. It is taking inspired action. So spirit might put you around these people, maybe put you around a teacher that is teaching a certain topic. Even you listening to this podcast is something that you need to hear right now, whether it's for yourself or to share with someone else. But when you have received these messages, so if you're ready to make an intuitive decision, the part that is scary is trusting yourself and taking action. So you have cleared your mind, you've gotten the messages, spirit's like, I've introduced you to the right people, and I've told you what you need to be investing in. And you're like, I don't know how it's possible. Well, you can tell your spirit guides, show me how it's possible. But also, oftentimes, it truly takes you to make that first step, to actually go do the thing. So to do the investing. And I remember the first time I ever invested in something that felt scary with my business, it was $1,000. And I don't think I've ever, at that time, I had never invested in my business for $1,000. I was really scared. I thought that's a big investment. Looking back at that now, I'm like, oh my gosh, why was that so scary? So when I invested with $1,000, some of the questions I had to ask myself, am I going to utilize this thing? And do I feel that this thing is going to help me live a better life, to operate my business more efficiently, to ultimately increase my abundance so that I can move forward and a joyful life purpose? Is this $1,000 investment a lifetime investment? So sometimes we think, oh my gosh, for a short while, is this going to recoup any money? And it's like, is this one thing going to help you and give you life skills, business skills to move forward in the coming years? When you think about it that way, it's like, of course I'm going to do this. So of course that $1,000 investment, now I've made huge investments when I think of compared to that $1,000. And it's about trusting yourself. It's about taking that first step. It could be hiring somebody. Maybe that's really scary. It was for me, but spirit put the right person in my awareness. And that was a bigger expense. So I was like, oh my gosh, can I do this? And I felt the push to do it, and I did, and it's been wonderful. So it is about trusting your gut and oftentimes leaping or taking initial step. Doesn't have to be a huge leap, just taking an initial step, even though you're not sure what the outcome is. And that truly is why people don't follow their intuition, because they're not sure how it's going to work out. And also, this is similar with business. When you start your own business, you don't know what's coming in the next page. And some people will say, well, I'm going to work for somebody else because it's more stable. No, it's not. There are business owners in that business too. They don't know what's coming in the next day. And so if you're a business owner, you also don't know what's coming in the next day. That's life. None of us know. But when you tap into your intuition, you will get that feeling. Now, sometimes your spirit guides are like, we're giving you nothing because you need to take this first step. And we're going to tell you to take this first step, but we're not going to tell you how the outcome is going to be. Because your spirit guides know what you need to learn. And they also are not going to orchestrate the entire next 5 years for you until you take that first step. Because if you never take it, all the things they orchestrated for those 5 years are not going to be useful because you never took the first step to do it. So if you're thinking about starting your business, this is your wake-up call. And if you already have your own business, then your spirit guides are there to help you grow it and to pivot if you feel like it's not in alignment there for you too. So what I'd love for you to do right now is to talk to your spirit guides, tell them what you would like them to help you with. Take 5 minutes each day to just relax and receive. And when you get those hunches or inspirations, because sometimes we're expecting spirit to say, go do this now at this location with this person's name. And while that does happen, intuition doesn't normally happen that way. It's, hey, I'm giving you a hunch and I'm giving you inspiration. So when you get that, I want you to take action. All right. So with that being said, if you are excited to learn more about your life purpose archetype, I'm going to link to it in the show notes. And if you are someone that really, truly wants to live your life purpose in abundance, and you want to do this by connecting to your intuition and your spirit guides, then stay with me and jump on the waitlist for Intuition Abundance Academy. You can do that at messengerspirit.com/waitlist. All right, until the next episode, here's to staying spiritual and ambitious. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. And if you loved it, would you please share it with a friend? I would also love your review and a reminder to subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can find me at messengerspirit.com, and you can take the 4 Intuitive Languages quiz and find show notes there too. If you want to connect on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, you can find me at Messenger of Spirit. If you want to continue the conversation, join my free Facebook group at messengerofspirit.com/group. I'll meet you right here next week. Here's to staying spiritual and ambitious.